This week, tail gunner Brett Hermansen and I are hitting the trail, and this time we are venturing out of the Ticaboo Lodge to discover some magnificent scenery along the way. You know, it's not always the epic trip that gives you the big payoff. It can be just something around the neighborhood. Hi, everybody. Welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Chad Booth.
And I'm Brett Hermansen, filling in for Rhea today. She didn't come out. Too many things named poison and bad mojo on the poison springs and different things that we have.
Literally, when I talked to her and I said, well, do you want to go on this ride? And she said, where are we going? I said, well, we're going to Arsenic Arch, and there's a strychnine pass. And she said, no. So Brett decided he would fill in.
I don't care. We brought our own water today, so we're not going to drink from any streams or anything. So
no, but we're out of Ticaboo, and this really is a great trip. You know, not every adventure you plan on a side-by-side has to be one of those things where you go sun up to sundown. You got a half day. This is a great trip. It's a sidebar of a larger system that Garfield County's been working on. And they're really developing the North Lake Powell region into an epic off-road destination area where you can just pick a little loop or a big loop.
Yeah, and you just take a little side road every once in a while and slow down and just take a look at the canyons, look around. Don't just go blasting through, you know, take a look around.
There is a luxury in a shorter trip, and we had to find out what some of those gems are on this trip.
This is something that I love to do. This is not only a job that I am now retired from, but it's also my hobby. I am so into geology and paleontology, and I just love getting out on these roads and exploring and discovering what's around each bend. You're always going to find something different out here, whether it's the rock formations. Here we are in the middle of the desert, and we got the Dirty Devil right behind us. If you look off to my right, you got Cedar Point, and down below, this looks like a mini Grand Canyon. The geology here is fantastic. There's Jurassic through Cretaceous behind me. So you've got over 265 million years in geological forms, which you don't see that.
So what do you think of this, Brett?
This is unbelievable. And no, we are not at the Grand Canyon. That's the Dirty Devil down there, and this is amazing.
You know, I've made an observation. I'm sitting here watching the river, and you can see it from this overlook. And for every 1 mile that the Dirty Devil goes this way, it goes 5 miles this way.
Yeah. If you were to stretch it out, it would probably go coast to coast. Really.
It'd be way bigger than your small intestine.
Yeah. A lot bigger. And that's really big, I think. You know, but this is unbelievable up here.
Well, we've got more stuff to do and more things to cover, more scenes to look at, and we've only got a couple hours to do it. So we're going to send you off to the where to. Welcome back to At Your Leisure on the Cedar Point Trail just outside of Ticaboo. And, you know, every now and then you just got to stop.
Yep, you got to get out of your machine and do a little walking.
Yep, because the trail will come to an end, and there's spots that you need to walk to so that you don't mess up the tranquility of them.
Yep, and it's just some things that they can't quite get a trail to that are really interesting to see, like this arch we're going to go see.
Now, Ray says this is one of the most beautifully framed arches in the entire western United States. And Ray should know because he's been everywhere in the western United States. So I guess we should get going.
Yep, let's get going. Let's get walking.
All right.
North Lake Powell has hundreds of miles of trails in the Henry Mountains and the Robbers Roost area. And a lot of them are or namesake trails. People know all about them, but there's literally hundreds of miles of spur trails that just nobody knows about. And all the spur trails take you to some really interesting places. And as you saw today, you know, the Dirty Devil Canyon, that's really iconic. It looks just like Canyonlands, but many of them bring you to arches, like the one right behind me, Arsenic Arch. And just in our immediate vicinity, we have 9 arches. And they're not on any main trail. You have to take a side trail to go find them. So at North Lake Powell Adventures, there at Ticaboo Resort, our guides are trained. They know where these places are. And that's what they do. You go in and they'll drop pins. They'll show you how to find this stuff. It's very remote. It's very isolated. So any time of the year, you could come out here on our vast trail network and really not find hardly anybody at all. It's really rare to find somebody. But if you want total isolation, come in here in the winter. We do get down in the 20s and 30s at night, but it does bounce back up in the 40s and 50s. But once that sun gets up, it's cooking. You'll start feeling warmer, and it's totally isolated. You'll be out here by yourself. As our viewers saw today, there's nobody here today but us. Everywhere you go, it's just us. Maybe a cow or two here and there, but other than that, it's just us. You can do anything on the lake from boating to kayaking and paddleboarding, but in the wintertime, you're looking more to do the desert stuff, and in the spring and the fall, which entails side-by-side ATV, UTV traffic, hiking, and canyoneering. We have guides that can take you into those canyons and drop you down with using ropes, or we can show you some canyons that you can hike up into, like Leprechaun Canyon. A lot of really iconic canyons that you can go into and hike. So no matter what you want to do, it's hard to find this stuff in a guidebook. But all you got to do is pop into our North Lake Powell Adventures right there at Ticaboo Resort and say, hey, I'm looking for something fun to do. We can drop pins. We can show you exactly where to go. You'll have a good time out here. There's no doubt about it. Nobody ever leaves our area and says, I don't think I'll come back. They all say, I'm coming back.
Well, here we are at the Arsenic Arch. Thanks to North Lake Powell Adventures, we were able to find this. We'd never found it without them. Some of us made it, some of us didn't. Next, we'll see the along the way.
Well, once again, North Lake Powell has proven that it doesn't matter how much time you spend here, it's going to be a perfect time. And this is a perfect time. Thank you so much, Captain Ray. It's nice and cool today. Not any people, actually.
Nobody here except us, and we always appreciate having at your leisure here in North Lake Powell.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, when can we come back?
Tomorrow. I think I got reservations for you guys for the next week, as a matter of fact.
All right, I'll be here tomorrow.
Well, who did that? Rhea.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, well, that just proves it. There's adventure around every bend.
Just got to get out there and find it.
At your leisure.
We should be on the stage. Look at that. That is style, man.